Hello there everybody, and welcome to another quick and handy recap episode of Mild Magic Rime of the Frostmaiden. I'm Axel, your brilliant dungeon master, and I'll be running you through the events of last week's episode so that you're all ready and caught up to watch our new episode tomorrow night, Wednesday, July 6th at 6:30 PM British Standard Time. So, without further ado, where we last left the party, Tonachstrath stood atop the steps of the black cabin and saw below a strange teardrop shape and a pair of glow-faced creatures. They called for help from the party, but we'll leave them there as we check up on our lost cleric. In the blizzard that separated the party, Oster suddenly realized that they hadn't seen their friends in some time. After calling for Baroth unsuccessfully, Oster decided to press on and look for shelter against the storm, and hope they might find their friends when it cleared. With only the axe beak steady for company, they found a corner of the rocks where the wind didn't bite so hard and hunkered down. Time became strange and untraceable, but after they had been crouched in the snow against the side of the axe beak for some time, Oster once again heard the wind, the cold voice, this time telling them endurance. Oster chose to ignore. After a time more, they suddenly realize that they are not alone. They're a strange, frost-bitten figure out there in the snow, just absorbed in the patterns of the wind and ice. Oster made no noise, hoping to be ignored, but no such luck. The creature snapped to look at them and quickly drew blades to descend upon the cleric, and another frostbitten, nearly nude, snow-mad human joined in the attack. Oster then realized that these two creatures were carrying weapons made out of Chardalin. A short, brutal fight followed, in which Oster fought well, but was ultimately overwhelmed as they attempted to flee, dropping to 0 hit points as they ran away unsteady, struck by a well-flung spear. In their last moments of consciousness, Oster felt their ankle grabbed as one of these snow-mad humans began to drag them away. Felt themselves also stabilize against the death that spear should have brought. Not at their own hand or the Berserkers, but something else. But back at the cabin, at Tonath's call, Lucius came running out. Too late to see the teardrop shape, but not too late to see the light-emitting monsters, now shambling toward the steps of the cabin. Thinking that fleeing was the best bet, Lucius turned the snow into a fog cloud, giving the party the vital cover it needed to get out past these dangerous foes. Tonach went down, having started the fight with only 1 hit point, but Baroth stumbled over their body in the fog and got them back up as soon as he did. Somehow they managed to avoid taking too much damage or being grappled by these horrifying light-emitting creatures, and got to their axe beaks in time to mount up and gallop away. A few hours ride away, the three of them decided they'd hopefully gone far enough to take a rest, and made camp among the rocky crags. Tonach fell to sleeping immediately, finally taking a much-deserved rest as the others kept watch. In the last few hours of the rest, they suddenly realized they were not alone. A group of reghead nomads had surrounded the encampment. After a little back and forth, do you serve the Frostmaiden, or do you serve the Frostmaiden, they realized that they were on the same side, and the regheads, members of the Bear clan, joined them to share food and news. If times are hard in 10 towns, they are harder for these nomadic people. The reindeer regheads survive on their herds, but the bear have been driven out of their camp by the Frostmaiden's Berserkers, and the tiger and wolf monarchs have turned to worshipping Oral in hope that they might survive the rime. The party chose to warn these regheads about the Durgar and the Chardalin dragon, and then asked whether any of them had seen Oster lost in the snow. One younger reghead nervously offered that he had seen something being dragged off by the feral snow-mad Berserkers, who drove these bear reghead out of their encampment, and that Oster was probably dead. Stubborn to the last, the party decided to go save Oster and asked the bear nomads for help. They agreed to take Lucius, Tonach and Baroth as far as the entrance to the caves, but will not come inside. They lost too many people fighting these feral berserkers alone. We return now to Oster, waking up with a handful of hit points, tied up upside down in a cage and hung by the ankle from a meat hook. Aware of his awful condition, Oster healed himself as soon as he could. Then, displaying some of their fey dexterity, Oster managed to throw himself off the hook and, after a bit of struggle, unbind their wrist. They found themselves in a cave with several large chunks of some unknown eggshell in the bottom, looking out over a large empty room with none of their possessions at hand. Without any ability to use thieves' tools or similar, having no luck headbutting the lock, and unwilling to make too much noise, Oster decided to attempt to wait and rest before further attempting escape. However, he didn't manage to complete his rest as the remainder of the party arrived to rescue him. Tonach quickly set to work, breaking the lock on the cage, while Bareth discovered a problem. A pair of wormling white dragons, who quickly decided the party looked like dinner. A battle ensued in which Lucius used Shatter to great effect on one wormling and the stone tunnel above it, once more chanting "Get hit" at Baroth as his bardic tale took effect. With Oster freed and the wormlings handled by Tonach and Baroth, the party took a moment to breathe, before the sound of a blade dragged across the stone floor, which froze all of their blood. Emerging from a deeper tunnel, the party saw a hulking great human berserker, dressed in a blood-stained leather apron, dragging a meat cleaver the size of a battle axe, and wearing the flayed face of a Goliath as a mask. The party ambushed them, managed to take them down to 0 hit points, in a relatively short, if brutal, battle, but were dismayed to watch as the slain warrior entreated the Frostmaiden for aid, and returned to his feet, somehow still alive. Twice they slew him, and twice he got back up, each time accompanied by a strange blue light emanating from deeper in the caves. And that is where we'll pick up tomorrow. 6:30 French Meat Time here on Twitch. Thank you so much to Izzy for writing this little recap, and we will, of course, see you then. Bye bye everyone, take care, lots of love.